Hello everyone, my name is Varun. I am going to be discussing February 26th paper, Shift 1, and as it is written, the questions are collected and reproduced purely from memory of the questions. Options might be here and there different, but most of the questions will be the same as that of mains questions. So, in this topic, first of all, in this exam, the questions from extra syllabus were hardly one or two, I think only one. So, the students who didn't go through that extra syllabus have a slight advantage here. So, let us begin with the first question. Integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos square x by 1 plus 3 power x dx. The question is from definite integration. I will take I as integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos square x by 1 plus 3 power x dx. We can replace x by a plus b minus x. If the integration is from a to b, I will replace x by a plus b minus x. So, here I can replace x by pi by 2 minus pi by 2 minus x. Replace x by minus x. What will I be? I will be integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos square of minus x, which is nothing but cos square x, by 1 plus 3 power of minus x dx. So, this will take it as 1 and this will take it as 2. I will add 1 and 2. Adding 1 and 2, what will I get? 2i. 2i is integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Cos square x I can take it out common. The rest if I add it, it will be 1 plus 3 power x by 1 plus 3 power x dx. So, 1 plus 3 power x and 1 plus 3 power x can get cancelled. I have 2i is this integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, because this function cos square x is an even function, I can write it as 2 times of integral 0 to pi by 2 cos square x dx. So, what is I? Integral 0 to pi by 2 cos square x dx. This cos square x can be written as 1 plus cos 2x by 2. Integral 0 to pi by 2 1 plus cos 2x by 2 dx. What is integral 0 to pi by 2 1 by 2 dx? That will be pi by 2 into 1 by 2. I can write it as integral 0 to pi by 2 1 by 2 dx plus integral 0 to pi by 2 cos 2x by 2 dx. We know integral cos 2x is nothing but sin 2x by 2. Limits from 0 to pi by 2, this integral value will be 0. I am left over with integral 0 to pi by 2 1 by 2 dx. This value will be 1 by 2 into pi by 2 minus 0 or pi by 4. First option, pi by 4 is the answer. Simple definite integration based question. Let us go for the second question. Value of limit x tends to 0 2 into root 3 sine of, question looks complicated, but it is an easy question of limits. Limit x tends to 0 2 times of root 3 times of sine of pi by 6 plus x minus cos of pi by 6 plus x by root 3 into x into root 3 cos x minus sin x. We will try to simplify the expression a little bit. So, what I will do is, he gave you a hint here, root 3 and minus 1, that root 3 by 2 and minus 1 by 2 can be grouped together. So, what I will do, limit x tends to 0 2 into root 3, I will write it as root 3 by, I will take out another 2 common, 2 if I take it common, it can be written as root 3 by 2 sine of pi by 6 plus x minus 1 by 2 cos of pi by 6 plus x by root 3x, again I will take out 2 common, 2 root 3 into x into root 3 by 2 into cos x minus 1 by 2 sin x. Now, this root 3 by 2 can be written as, I will take only this first expression, this first expression can be written as root 3 by 2 is nothing but cos of pi by 6 into sine of pi by 6 plus x minus this half is nothing but sine of pi by 6, sine pi by 6 into cos of pi by 6 plus x. So, it is sin A cos B minus cos A sin B formula. It is nothing but sine of A minus B, sine of pi by 6 plus x minus this pi by 6 term, pi by 6 sin x. So, this term which is there, it looks complicated, but this whole expression gets reduced to sin x. So, this value is limit x tends to 0, 2 into 2, 4 into this whole term is sin x by 2 root 3 x, the same thing here, root 3 by 2, I will write it as cos of pi by 6 and half as sin of pi by 6. So, what will this term be? Or I will write it as sin of pi by 3 and this as cos of pi by 3, sin A cos B minus cos A sin B formula, sin of A minus B. So, it will be sin of pi by 3 minus x. Now, I can separate the limits. Limit x tends to 0, sin x by x is a fixed value, and limit x tends to 0, 4 by 2 root 3 into 1 by sin of pi by 3 minus x is also non-zero finite value. Let us separate it. Limit x tends to 0, sin x by x into limit x tends to 0, 4 by 2 root 3 into 1 by sin of pi by 3 minus x. What will this value be? Limit x tends to 0 sin x by x, the value is 1. Limit x tends to 0, what will this value be? This is root 3 by 2 as x tends to 0. So, root 3 into root 3 is 3, 2 gets cancelled, this value is root 3 by 2. So, 2 and 2 gets cancelled, this is 3. So, 1 into 4 by 3 I will get. Answer is 4 by 3. Very complicated, but once we manipulate it as simple, it is becoming sin x by x. There is no other new concept in this question. So, let us go for third question. X minus y equal to 0, 2x plus y equal to 6 and x plus 2y equal to 3 are 3 lines forming a triangle. Then he asks the nature of the triangle. Straight lines question. X minus y is equals to 0, 2x plus y is equals to 6, x plus 2y is equals to 3. You can draw the 3 sides of a triangle roughly in the 2D system and can easily understand the nature of the triangle. Obviously, it will not be a right angle triangle, because for it to be a right angle triangle, product of slopes must be minus 1. This slope is 1, this slope is minus 2, whereas this slope is minus 1 by 2, not possible. So, we can directly eliminate that it is a right angle triangle. Equilateral and all that, again from the diagram we may not get it precisely. So, what I will do is, I will find the points of intersection. Every point of intersection is nothing but a point which lies on 2 sides. So, I will take this as L1, L2 and L3. What is the point of intersection of L1 and L2? L1 and L2, you simply add it, you will get 3x L1 and L2 if I want to find out. Say that is point 3. The point 3 will be, if you add it, you will get 3x is equals to 6, means x is equals to 2. X equal to 2, you substitute it in x minus y equal to 0, y will also be 2. This is point 3. L2 and L3 will get point 1. 3 different points. I named it as P3, P1 and P2. What is P1? Again 2x plus y equal to 6, x plus 2y equal to 3, I have to solve it. Here I will multiply the second expression by 2. 2x plus y is equals to 6, and this if I multiply it by 2, it will be 2x plus 4y is equals to 6. So, what is the intersection here? Subtract it. If you subtract it, you will get 3y is equals to 0. Y equal to 0, if you substitute, what is the value of x? 2x is equals to 6. So, x is 3. So, this point P1 is 3 comma 0. This point is 2 comma 2. What about point 2? L1 and L3. x minus y equal to 0, intersection of x minus y equal to 0, and x plus 2y is equals to 3. If I add the two values, subtract the two values, what will happen? I will get 3y is equals to 3, which implies y is equals to 1, and because it lies on x minus y equal to 0, the value of x will also be 1. So the point is 1 comma 1, 3 points, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 0 and 1 comma 1. If I take this as P1, P2, P3, P1, P2, P3. What is the distance between P1 and P2? Distance between P1 and P2, root over 3 minus 1 whole square, 2 square plus 1 square. This will be root 5. What is distance between P2 and P3? 1 comma 1 and 2 comma 2. Root over 1 minus 2 whole square plus 1 minus 2 whole square. It will be root 2. P1 and P3, P1 and P3, 3 minus 2 whole square plus 0 minus 2 whole square. Root over 1 square plus 4. It will be root 5. Now these two distances are equal. So if the two distances are equal and it is not equal to the third side, it will be an isosceles triangle. Here. Let's go for the fourth question. Find the number of integral values of k for which the equation 3 sin x plus 4 cos x equal to k plus 1 has a solution, at least one solution. It need not have exactly one, at least one solution. 3 sin x plus 4 cos x. Extreme values based on trigonometric ratios. 3 sin x plus 4 cos x. What is the range of this function? First we have to identify. We can't solve it. It is two variables. X and k are two different variables. So for different values of x, I have to find the range of k. So what will I do? We know a sin x plus b cos x. A sin x plus b cos x belongs to minus root over a square plus b square to plus root over a square plus b square. So by this logic, we can divide it by root over a square plus b square, multiply it by root over a square plus b square. From that we will get this result. So 3 sin x plus 4 cos x, 3 sin x plus 4 cos x belongs to minus root over 3 square plus 4 square to plus root 3 square plus 4 square. Means 3 sin x plus 4 cos x belongs to minus 5 to 5, minus 5 to 5. Now we are saying this value k plus 1 which is there, that must belong to minus 5 to 5. K plus 1 belongs to minus 5 to 5. So I have to solve the two extremities. K plus 1 is greater than or equal to minus 5 and k plus 1 is less than or equal to 5. So from this, what is the condition I will get? K is greater than or equal to minus 5 minus 1 minus 6 and k is less than or equal to 5 minus 1 4. Number of integral values, k can attain negative values, positive values as well as 0 also. What are the set of values here? Minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3 and so on up to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many set of values I am getting? Minus 6 to minus 1 are 6 and including 0 to 4 it will be 5. 6 plus 5, the total number of values are 11. Let us go for the fifth question. PNC question, interesting one. Number of 7-digit numbers in which sum of the digits is 10 and the digits can take 1, 2, 3 values only. He is not saying only like 1, 2, 3 must come only one time. It is a 7-digit number. So obviously one digit will get repeated if it is a 7-digit number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Using 1, 2, 3 only, the sum of the digits must be 10. So for the sum of digits to be 10, first what I will do is I will take all ones. I want to identify the two cases, that is why minimum value, see, minimum value must be 1 in each. Now what is the sum of the digits? 7. I have to add 3 more. That 3 more can be done in two ways. either having two 2's, that is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2 and 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In this the sum of the digits is 10. The other cases, what I have done is extra 3 units are there. No? I have added 2 to one unit and 1 to another unit. But now what I will do is all the 3 which is there, one I will distribute it to different units. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The sum is again 6 plus 4, 10. So only these two possibilities are there. So and now we have to observe the arrangements of this. There is no rule that 2 and 3 must occur in the last position. Only the sum of digits is 10. So this can be arranged in how many ways? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total numbers are 7. So 7 factorial by, there are 5 ones. If 5 identical objects are there, I have to divide it by 5 factorial. 7 factorial by 5 factorial. What about this one? Total again 7 objects are there. So 7 factorial by 4 ones. So it is 4 factorial and 3 2's, 3 factorial. Number of ways of arranging n items, out of which r are identical means we will do n factorial by r factorial if r are identical. Here 5 ones are identical, that is why I am dividing it by 5 factorial. Here 4 ones are identical, I am dividing it by 4 factorial. 3 2's are identical, I am dividing it by 3 factorial. Is this and or or? This or this is happening. So if you are using the operator or, the number of cases must be plus this or this. 7 factorial by 5 factorial plus 7, he is asking the value, we will calculate it. This is 7 into 6, 42, and this is 7 into 6 into 5, 4 factorial gets cancelled by 6, 35. So 42 plus 35 will be 77, 77. Here PNC, even advanced questions will be almost of this level only. It is just that you have to understand the two cases separately and then the arrangements of it. Let us go to 6th question. Find the number of solutions of the equation 4 into, this comes under differential calculus part, monotonicity. 4 into x minus 1 is equals to log of x minus 3 to the base 2. Whenever is asking number of solutions, the idea must go to drawing graphs, because you do not need to find the solution here. A logarithmic expansion and a polynomial expansion can't be solved until and unless you know the trivial roots. So whenever is asking number of solutions, if you draw the graph, it will be enough, because that exact solutions you need not need. 4 into x minus 1 and log of x minus 3 to the base 2, I have to do. Log of x minus 3, first of all, what is the domain for it? For the right function to be defined, x must be greater than 3. For the left function, x belongs to R. So for solutions, my x is always greater than 3. I will keep that in mind. If x is always greater than 3, if this is 3, this value log of x minus 3 to the base 2 will be 0 at x is equals to 4. This graph will be something like this. The slope of the function will always be decreasing. It is similar to ln x graph, but it is with respect to base 2. What about 4 into x minus 1? At 1, it will be 0, but it is not in domain. So I will draw roughly like this, and from 3 it will be defined, open 3, it will be a straight line, always increasing. We will observe the value at 4. What will the value at 4 be for this one? 0. This is 4 comma 0. And what is the value of y at 4 here? 4 into 4 minus 1? It is 12. 4 comma 12. Now observe after 4 what will happen. Before 4 this is a negative value and this is a positive value, so there won't be any point of intersection. But after 4, what is the slope of this function at 4? I will take this as y1, y, and I will take this as some, or I will take this as y1 and this as y2. What is dy1 by dx? At x is equals to 4, the slope of this function is always 4, and slope is increasing. D square y by dx square is 0. So the slope is always 4. But coming for the second expression, y2, dy2 by dx at x is equals to 4. What is log of x? Ln x derivative is 1 by x, but there is a log to the base 2 here. So its derivative will be 1 by x minus 3 into ln 2 to the base e. At x is equals to 4, it will be 1 by ln 2 to the base e, or ln e to the base 2, which is less than 4. What about d square y by dx square for this? D square y by dx square. I want the rate of slope. D square y by dx square is minus 1 by x minus 3 whole square into ln 2 to the base e, which is always less than 0. It means the slope is always decreasing. Initially at 4 it was ln e to the base 2. Now because rate of slope is negative, the slope will be always decreasing. Think about it. It is starting at 12 and the slope is always fixed and hence it is increasing. But for this function, initially it is at 4 comma 0 and the slope itself initially it's less than the slope of this. Here the rate of slope is decreasing. So will this function like intersect this curve again at any other place? Not possible. So from this, like this function will be always increasing and this function like it will be increasing, but it will be tending to infinity. But this by this, limit extends to infinity. You remember this logic, limit extends to infinity, a polynomial of x, p of x by a logarithmic expansion of x will be always tending to plus or minus infinity. A polynomial of x by logarithm, that is as x tends to infinity, 4 into x minus 1 will tend to infinity. This will also tend to infinity, but this by this will be always increasing, it tends to infinity. So no solutions, answer is 0. Actually you can directly go for 0 because the options which you have here 42, 60 and 35, even if that was the answer, you can't find the number of solutions there. So the answer is 0. Let us go for 7th question. A is a symmetric matrix of order 2 and sum of diagonal elements of A square, square of A, is 1 where elements of the matrix are integers. If I am taking the matrix A as A, B, C and D, he is saying all 4 are integers and he is saying it is a symmetric matrix. So if it is a symmetric matrix, B will be equal to C. I will again write A as A, B, B, D. Sum of diagonal elements, that is trace is nothing but of A square is 1. I will calculate what is A square. What is A square? A, B, C, D into A, B, C, D. I need only the diagonal elements. So what is A11 element? A square plus, so this C is B. So A square plus B square. And what is this element? B into B. B square plus D square. So what is the sum of diagonal elements of A square? A square plus D square plus 2B square. He is saying this value is equals to 1. A square plus D square plus 2B square is equals to 1. Now, and ADB all belongs to, he mentioned the condition that elements of the matrix are integers. So when will this possible? Can B be any value other than 0? Because if B is not 0 and it is plus or minus 1, 2B square will be greater than 2. 2 plus non-negative values can't be equal to 1. Hence, B must be equal to 0. And what about A and D? A can be plus or minus 1 and D can be plus or minus 1, not simultaneously. If A is equals to plus or minus 1, D must be equal to 0. And if D is equals to plus or minus 1, A must be 0. So how many cases I am getting here? B and C, this B and B must be 0. If A is plus or minus 1, D is 0. There I will get 2 matrices. And here if D is plus or minus 1, B is 0, A will be 0. So there are 2 ways to fill D and the rest has 1 way, 2 ways. So total it will be 4 ways. Easy question based on matrices. One more concept which you have to remember here. For a square, trace of it will be always sum of squares of elements in A. Here you observe A is this part. What was the trace of A square? A square plus B square plus B square plus D square. You can notice that for all matrices. For A square, trace will be always sum of square of elements of A. Let us go for 8th question. This one is a little bit lengthy one. Out of like all the questions which we observed, there are two concepts involved here. AOD, and again like maximum minima is involved, and tangents normals part is also involved. He gave y as x power 4 by 2 minus 5x cube plus 18x square plus 6. What is dy by dx? He is asking maximum value of slope. He is not asking maximum value of the function, maximum value of the slope. So dy by dx function you have to find out, and then its maximum value you have to find out. What is dy by dx? 2x cube minus 15x square plus 36x. It is not just calculating when this value be equal to 0. We are not calculating maximum value of y. We are calculating maximum value of dy by dx. So I need the maximum value of this function. So d square y by dx square I will calculate. What is d square y by dx square? 6x square minus 30x plus 36. I have to find where this value is equals to 0. Where will it be? 6 if I take it common, x square minus 5x plus 6. So this is equals to 0 at 2 and 3, x minus 2 into x minus 3. But here again, where it is attaining minima, where it is attaining maxima, I can either observe the slope change, sign change, or I will calculate d cube y by dx cube. What is d cube y by dx cube? Differentiate this part again. 6x square derivative is 12x minus 30. Now I have to see, if I need maximum value, d cube y by dx cube must be less than 0. So this must be less than 0. For which value it is less than 0? X equal to 2 or x equal to 3? At x equal to 2, 12 into 2 minus 30 is less than 0, whereas for x is equals to 3, 12 into 3 minus 30 is greater than 0. So if it is greater than 0, it will attain minima. If it is less than 0, it will attain maximum. So at x equal to 2 we have to observe. What is the value at x equal to 2? You have to find out the value of y also. I think this option was corresponding to dy by dx or something, but he is asking the point at x is equals to 2. Substitute x equal to 2 in this function. If I substitute x is equals to 2, what is y? 2 power 4 by 2, 8 minus 5 into 2 cube plus 18 into 2 square plus 6. 8 minus 40 plus 72 plus 6. 8 plus 32 plus 6. 40 plus 6, 46. 2 comma 46. Okay. We have now, it might be like some of you might have taken dy by dx is equals to 0 and observed like x is equals to 0 and whatever roots you are getting. But the question you have to be very careful. Maximum value of slope, not of the function. Okay. Let us go for question number 9. This again, though it is an easy question, looking at this word, equivalent class, you might have left it. But once you observe the options and observe the point, it will be easily solved, though you do not know what is it. Equivalence class of 1 comma minus 1, PQ, ordered pair PQ. PQ are 2 points which are equidistant from the origin. This whole thing is set of ordered pairs, where the 2 points are equidistant from origin. So what are the points which are equidistant from origin? If I am taking some x1, y1 and x2, y2, it must be equidistant from origin. x1, y1 and x2, y2 both must be equidistant from origin 0 comma 0. So what is the condition there? Locus of points which are equidistant from a fixed point will be nothing but a circle. So he is simply saying the set of all points where the points lie on the circle. Now I don't know the radius of this. For different radius I will get different set of points. Now he is asking like the curve which corresponds to a point on 1 comma minus 1. He is asking the equivalence class of 1 comma minus 1, means he is asking the value of r for which one of the point is 1 comma minus 1. That is, he is asking the set of points which lie in the same class which contains 1 comma minus 1. So what is the distance from 1 comma minus 1 to 0 comma 0? This r is root 2. So what will the set of points be which are at a distance of root 2 from origin? X square plus y square is equals to r square. R is root 2 whole square. X square plus y square is 2. X square plus y square is equals to 2. Okay. 1 comma minus 1, which point is satisfying? Obviously only one option, x square plus y square equal to 2. If you don't use too much, like if you don't come across this word, you can simply substitute 1 comma minus 1 and verify which curve is satisfying it. Chalo. 10th question. Determinants 1, again an easy question. Value of determinant of a plus 1 into a plus 2, a plus 2 into a plus 3, a plus 3 into a plus 4, a plus 1, a plus 2, a plus 3, 1, 1, 1. This 1, 1, 1 gives a hint for us what we have to do. What we have to do? R3 and R2, row transformations I will use. R3, I will write it as R3 minus R1, and R2, I will do it as R2 minus R1. Determinant of, we will check what will happen. This and this if I subtract, this R1 will remain the same. A square plus 3a plus 2, a plus 1, and this 1 will remain the same. But 1 minus 1 and 1 minus 1, these two elements will be 0. Okay. Now what about this element? A plus 2 minus of a plus 1, it will be 1. A plus 3 minus of a plus 1, it will be 2. Now this one, a square plus 7a, this earlier it was a square plus 7a plus 12, and this is a square plus 5a plus 6 earlier. Now after the operation what will it be? A square plus 7a plus 12 minus of a square plus 3a plus 2, it will be 7a minus 3a, 4a, 12 minus 2, 10. And what about this part? A square gets cancelled, 5a minus 3a, 2a, and 6 minus 2 is 4. So how will I expand the determinant? I can expand the determinant along any row or any column. This column has an advantage, 2 of its elements are 0. So I will expand it along this column, 1 into sign is positive, minus plus minus plus, 1 into 2a plus 4 into 2, 2a plus 4 into 2, minus 1 into 4a plus 10, minus 1 into 4a plus 10. Check it, what will happen? 2a into 2a, 4a plus 8 minus 4a minus 10. 8 minus 10, the value is minus 2. Simple question. Let us go for 11th question. If sin inverse x by a is equals to cos inverse x by b, both are x but this is y, is equals to tan inverse y by c, he is asking the value of cos of pi c by a plus b. Even though it is not saying, I will take sin inverse x values in between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, cos inverse x value in between 0 to pi, and tan inverse y values in between open minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Advanced he will be more precise, he will clearly mention the principal argument, principal range. So okay, sin inverse x, all these values I will take it as lambda. For time being, I will take all as lambda. What is sin inverse x? A lambda. What is cos inverse x? B lambda. So if I add the two expressions, I am getting sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. So pi by 2 is a plus b times of lambda. I need this a plus b expression here, that's why I am writing it. So replace this a plus b by pi by 2 lambda in cos of pi c by a plus b. Cos of pi into c by a plus b is nothing but pi by 2 lambda. So he is asking cos of simply 2 lambda c. But what is lambda again, or what is c lambda? We know from this expression that tan inverse y is c lambda. So replace this 2 lambda by c lambda by tan inverse y. He is asking the value of cos of 2 times of tan inverse of y. So how will you solve? If you are taking this as a, this is some theta. If tan theta is y, he is asking the value of cos of 2 theta. What is cos 2 theta formula in terms of tan theta? 1 minus tan square theta by 1 plus tan square theta. Replace this theta by tan inverse y. Tan of tan inverse y is always y. For any y belongs to R, tan of tan inverse y is always y. So this expression will be 1 minus y square by 1 plus y square. Okay. 1 minus y square by 1 plus y square. Let us go for 12th question. Question based on vectors. A cross, A cross, A cross, A cross B. Formula will prove it first. What is the formula for A cross B? We will do it step by step. We will first solve this part, then we will use the extra A and all that. What is A cross B? The formula is A dot B into A bar minus A dot A or mod A square into B bar. Now again for this one I have to cross product with A now. So what I will do? Now I have to calculate A cross of A cross B. So this one pre-multiplication A cross this part. What is the value of A cross A? That will be 0. This I have to cross product with A here, or A I have to cross product with this expression. So what is A cross A? It is a null vector. And whatever this part, I will get A cross B again in this one. So it will be minus mod A square into A cross B. We will keep this minus sign like that only. So I am getting A cross B cross A, that is this whole part, as minus mod A square into A cross B. Now there is one more A now. A cross B, total 4 A's. So if I cross product A with this one again, this constant I can bring it outside, minus mod A square I can bring it outside, minus mod A square into A cross B again. Again this I have to simplify. What will it be? Minus mod A square into A cross B, I will get A dot B into A bar minus mod A square into B bar. This is A cross B is A dot B into A minus mod A square into B bar. Again a cross product with A, I will get, this will be 0, I will get A cross B. Again if I do cross product with B, A cross B, this value A dot B into A bar minus mod A square into B bar. So finally I am getting minus mod A square into A dot B into A bar minus plus mod a power 4 into b bar plus mod a power 4 into b bar. He didn't give the relation between a and b. If it was mod a power 4 into b bar, I suppose, I think a and b would have been perpendicular. The question is not mentioned here clearly, but in the question there might be a condition that a and b are perpendicular. Now if a and b are perpendicular, what will it be? This value will be 0 and I will be left with mod a power 4 into b bar, mod a power 4 into b bar. We can simply say it's false because see, if like I am taking a and b both as I for time being, a and b both are I bar only. Here itself the value will be 0. So this whole value will be 0. In that case it can't be equal to I into 1, no? It's obvious. So the extra information which is missing here is a and b are mutually perpendicular. If you take that part, in this final statement you will get a dot b as 0, you will get mod a power 4 into b bar. Okay. We will go for 13th one. Based on differentiability, modulus of f of x minus f of y is less than or equal to modulus of x minus y whole square. Modulus of f of x minus f of y is less than or equal to modulus of x minus y whole square. So what I will do is, I will bring one modulus of x minus y in this denominator. Modulus of f of x minus f of y by x minus y is less than or equal to mod of x minus y. Modulus of x minus y. Now limit x tends to y I will apply here. Limit x tends to y. Here also limit x tends to y, or I take limit y tends to x, or limit x tends to y. What will this value be? Limit x tends to y. This value will be 0 and this value will be 0. So this whole expression tends to f dash of y. F dash of y. X tends to y, the slope at y. Differentiated, this will be a constant. Y is a constant for time being, no? F of x, or replace y by x by y plus h. Replace x by y plus h, where h tends to 0 plus. In that case also you will understand. F of y plus h minus f of y by y plus h minus y by h. This value tends to f dash of y. So I am getting modulus of f dash of y is less than or equal to, what is this limit as x tends to y? Modulus of x minus y tends to 0. Can a value be strictly less than 0 modulus value? It is not possible. Hence, f dash of y must be equal to 0, implies f of y is constant. I do not know what constant it is. Again go through the question. F of 0 is equals to 1 is saying. So if f of x is a constant and if f of 0 is equals to 1, can I say for all x and y, this f of y will be 1? As simple as that. F of x will be always 1. So f of x is, just to confuse you, you gave this part, it will be a constant function which is always greater than 0 for all x belongs to R. F of x can take any value is wrong. X can take any value, but f of x can't take all values. It has only a unique value. F of x less than 0 is false, f of x equal to 0 is also false. F dash of x is equals to 0. Simple. F of x is a constant and hence f of x is equals to 1. Let us go for 14th question now. S is 1 plus 2 by 3 plus 7 by 3 square and plus 12 by 3 cube and so on. S by 3 is 1 by 3 plus 2 by 3 square plus 7 by 3 cube and so on. Multiplying it by 1 by 3 and I am shifting it towards the right. If I subtract it, I will get 2s by 3 is equals to 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 5 into 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 3 cube plus 1 by 3 power 4 and so on. So 2s by 3 is 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 5 into GP formula 1 by 9 a by 1 minus r, 1 minus 1 by 3. So what will this value be? 4 by 3 plus 5 into 1 by 9 by This is 2 by 3. I can write it as into 3 into 3. I'll get it as 1 by 6. So 4 by 3 plus 1 by 6. I'll get this as 4 2 is 8 plus 1, 9 by 6. So 2s by 3 is 9 by 6. 1 by 9 by 1 minus 1 by 3. 1 by 2 3 is 6. 5 by 6. 8 plus 5, 13 by 6. 13 by 6. So S is 13 by 6 into 3 by 2. 13 by 4. 13 by 4. This is 5 into 1 by 6. So 4 by 3 plus 5 by 6. It will be 8 plus 5. 13 by 6. So the answer is 13 by 4. Let us go for the 15th question now. Maximum value of the term, again this one is a little bit tricky one. It involves binomial theorem as well as maximum and minimum. Tx power 1 by 5, Tx power 1 by 5 plus 1 minus x whole power of 1 by 10 by t whole power of 10. If this is the expansion, I first want the term independent of t. What is tr in this one? Rth term 10c or tr plus 1, r plus 1 term is 10cr into tx power 1 by 5 whole power of 10 minus r into 1 minus x whole power of 1 by 10 by t whole power of r. First I have to identify the value which is independent of t. It can be in terms of x, there is no issue, but it must be independent of t. What is the power of t here? 10 minus r. And what is the power of t here? Minus r. Minus r. This must be equal to 0. If that is the case, the coefficients of the powers of t will get cancelled. So r is 5. R is 5 means the term is t6. So we'll just write the t6 term and then we'll try to maximize it. What is t6? 10c5 into this value will be, t will get cancelled, so I am not concerned about the t part. X power of 1 by 5 into 10 minus 5, 5 gets cancelled, I will get x power of 1 into this is 1 minus x whole power of t gets cancelled, 1 by 10 into 5, it will be 1 minus x whole power of 1 by 2. So this I have to optimize. X power 1, he is asking only the value of x. Find maximum value of term independent of this expression. He is asking the maximum value of this one. So I will take this to the next page. 10c5 into x power 1, 10c5 into x power 1 into 1 minus x whole power of 1 by 2. You can differentiate this expression x power 1 into 1 minus x whole power of 1 by 2, but it is not needed. We know one thing, x power m into y power n, if x plus y is equals to constant, we know that the maximum value will be attained when x by m is equals to y by n. You can differentiate it also, you will get the same idea. If x by m is equals to y by n and x plus y is equals to k, positive value, x y also belongs to positive numbers. Here x belongs to here, 1 minus x must be positive. So x by m must be equal to y by n. Here x by 1 must be equal to 1 minus x by 1 by 2. This is the value of x for which I will get the maximum value. So what is the value of x here? 2 minus 2x. 3x is 2. X is 2 by 3. Substitute there. 10c5 into 2 by 3 into 1 minus 2 by 3. 1 by 3 whole power of 1 by 2. 2 minus 2x, 3x is equals to 2, x equal to 2 by 3. We will see the options in what forms he is asking. In terms of root 3 only it is there. 10c5 I have to calculate 10 factorial by 5 factorial into 5 factorial into 2 by 3, 1 by 3 root 3. So calculate this part. This will be 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 by 1 5 factorial will get cancelled. Another 120 will be there. So 60, 2s are 4s are 9 4s are 36, 36 into 7, 252. So I am getting 252 into 2 by 3 root 3. Sum of digits is 9, hence it will be divisible by 3. 8s are 4s are. If I multiply, again if I cancel a 3 here, 84 is also divisible by 3. So 1 root 3 will get cancelled. So root 3 into 2 into 84 if I divide it by 3, 56 root 3 I am getting. 56 root 3. 56 root 3. Okay. We are using two concepts here. One is binomial theorem 1 and the other one maximum minima. For maximum minima we are not differentiating. A new idea which we have discussed here, for x power m into y power n, if x plus y is a constant positive value, the maximum value will be attained when x by m is equals to y by n. Because if you differentiate this, you will get it as my minus nx is equals to 0. Something like that. Okay. Let us go for the 16th question now. Again a question based on indefinite integration only. Here he didn't mention, but in the actual paper he might have mentioned that this denotes GIF. This denotes GIF, greatest integer function. So sigma n is equals to 1 to 100 integral n minus 1 to n e power of fractional part of x dx. X minus integer part of x is fractional part of x. This fractional part of x function is a periodic function with fundamental period 1. So whatever is the integral value from n minus 1 to n, the same area, that is integral 0 to 1 also, I will get the same value. So this I can replace it with, this is a constant now, k. So this k I can bring it outside, sigma n equal to 1 to 100, k I can find out. So first I will identify this value. This is nothing but integral 0 to 1 e power x dx. Because fractional part of x is nothing but x in 0 to 1. What will this value be? E power x integral is e power x only. Limits from 1 to 0, e power 1 minus e power 0, e minus 1. How many times I am adding this value? N equal to 1 to 100 means I am adding it 100 times. So this will be 100 into e minus 1. 100 into e minus 1. Okay. Let us go for 17th question. If a fair coin is tossed n times, probability of getting 9 hits is equal to probability of getting 7 hits. Is equals to probability of getting 7 hits. He is asking probability of getting exactly 2 hits. Exactly 2 hits means the remaining must be n minus 2 must be tails. So first for general R heads we will try to solve. For R heads, what is the formula? We will just try to find. First of all, total n tosses are there. In that n tosses, R must be heads, any R. Total like that, I have to select R first. So first what I will do is, the position of them I will select, where heads should come. In how many ways I can select the position? It will be NC R. Once I selected the position, obviously in the rest tails will go. So we don't need to arrange anything and all are identical, that's why I am just selecting NCR. Now, in each place, once I selected the positions, the number of ways of a head coming here is 1 by 2. The number of ways of a head coming here is again 1 by 2, again 1 by 2, again 1 by 2, 1 by 2. So it will be 1 by 2 whole power of R. The probability of only heads coming in those R positions is 1 by 2 whole power of R. We have one more condition here. In the rest, tails must also come. Number of ways of a tail coming here is 1 by 2, first position. Like in this third position, it's again 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Tails coming is 1 by 2 whole power of n minus r. So what is this final value now? NCR into 1 by 2 whole power of n. NCR into 1 by 2 whole power of n. Now see, 9 heads, what will it be? NC9 into 1 by 2 whole power of n. This is independent of this r now, is equals to 7n's, NC7 into 1 by 2 whole power of n. This and this gets cancelled. NC9 is equals to NC7, what will the value of n be? If NCx is equals to NCy, either x is equals to y or x plus y is n. Here 9 plus 7 must be n. N is 9 plus 7. So n is 16. It's not over. What is he asking? He's asking probability of getting 2 heads. So in this r I have to substitute 2 and n value we got it as 16. So n equal to 16, r is equals to 2, you substitute in the given formula. 16 C2 into 1 by 2 whole power of 16. 16 C2 into 1 by 2 whole power of 16. Okay. Simple probability question, all are independent events again. General formula NCR into 1 by 2 whole power of n. Once you identify this part, again it's involved in binomial theorem also. This formula NCx equal to NCy, x is equals to y or x plus y is equals to r, n sorry, x plus y is equals to n. Let me go for 18th question. 3 planes. Vector question is already over. This is the planes question. 3x minus 15y plus 21z equal to 9, 4x minus 20y plus 21z equal to 10, 2x minus 10y plus 14z is equals to 10. 3 different planes. Options are P1, P2 parallel, all the 3 are parallel. So like initially looking at the planes you might get worried, but once you observe the options, what you have to notice here is just asking the condition for parallel. What is the condition for 2 planes to be parallel? A1x plus B1y plus C1z equal to D1 and A2x plus B2y plus C2z equal to D2. The condition for these 2 planes to be parallel is A1 by A2 is equals to B1 by B2 is equals to C1 by C2. This may or may not be equal to D1 by D2. If it is equal to D1 by D2, it will be identical planes, still parallel. If it is not equal to D1 by D2, still it will be parallel but distinct planes. Now, in this you have to observe for which this is true. Observe P1 and P3. 3 by 2 is equals to minus 15 by minus 10 is equals to 21 by 14. Is this true? 3 by 2, this is 3 by 2, this is also 3 by 2, 7 3s are 7 2s are. Hence I can say P1 and P3 are parallel. Coming to P2 and P3. P2 and P3, what is happening? 4 by 2 is equals to minus 20 by minus 10, but this is not equal to 21 by 14. Hence, P2 and P3 are not parallel, but P1 and P3 are parallel. It is obvious. If P1 and P3 are parallel and P2, P3 are not parallel, P2 won't be parallel to P1 also. So the only option we have is P1 and P3 are parallel. You can actually directly eliminate this B option, because if all the 3 are parallel, the rest will also be true, but it is a single answer. Okay. Let me go for the 19th question now. The summation of sequence and series question, GP1, the summation of second and sixth terms of an increasing GP, he is saying common ratio is greater than 1, is 25 by 2 and product of third and fifth term is 25. He is asking summation of fourth, sixth and eighth term. He is saying T2 second term plus T6 is 25 by 2, product of T3 into T5 is nothing but 25, and then summation of is asking T4 plus T6 plus T8. Okay. One thing you can notice here, T3 into T5 will also be equal to T2 into T6. because T3 by R I'll do, T3 by common ratio, that will be T2, into R I'll do, T5 into common ratio will be T6. So T2 into T6 is 25, T2 plus T6 is 25 by 2. From these two I have to identify what is T2 and T6. X square minus 25x by 2 plus 25 is equals to 0. The roots for this one are T2 and T6. So what will the roots be? He is asking 4th, 6th and 8th term, T4, T6 and this will be nothing but 3 times of T6. T4 plus 8, 4 plus 8 is 12, so 12 by 2 is 6. T4 plus T8 will be 2 T6, because T4, T6, T8 again will be in GP. Sorry, this is not arithmetic progression. Na? T4 plus T6 plus T8 value I have to find out. Now T2 and T6, how will I find out the roots for this? X square minus 2x square minus 25x plus 50 equal to 0. Product is 100, so I can write it as 20 into 5. So I will get 2x square minus 5x minus 20x plus 50 is equals to 0. So 2x into 2x minus 5 minus 10 into 2x minus 5 is equals to 0. So what are the two roots for this one? X minus 10 can be 0 or 2x minus 5 can be 0. The smaller root is T2. T2 is 5 by 2 and T6 is 10. From this, we'll find it out. We'll find out the first term and the common ratio. This is A into R. If A is the first term and R is the common ratio, T2 is, second term is AR, first term is A. AR is 5 by 2 and T6 is A into R power 5. A into R power 5. This is equals to 10. So if I divide it, what will happen? R power 4 is 10 into 2 by 5. I am getting R power 4 as 4. So R is root 2. R is root 2. And what is A? 5 by 2 root 2. 5 by 2 root 2, we'll just verify. 5 by 2 root 2 into 4 into root 2. So 5 into 2, 10 I will get. First term is 5 by 2 root 2 and R is root 2. T4 plus T6 plus T8 I have to calculate. What is T4? A into R cube. T6 is R power 5 and T8 is R power 7. General term Tn is A into R power n minus 1. So A, if I take it common, 5 by 2 root 2, I will get R cube as 2 root 2, R power 5 as 4 root 2, R power 7 as root 2 whole power of 7. So 8 root 2. So root 2 gets cancelled. 5 into 14 by 2. 5 sevens are 35. 35. Clear? He gave it as a GP, but we took it here as AP. I will calculate it differently. The idea is only trick in this one. If you take this 2 in terms of A and R, it might be a little bit complicated. But the smaller trick which we observe here, that T3 into T5, you write it in terms of A into R power minus 1, then also you will understand. AR square into this is AR power 4. What is T2? AR into AR power 5. You can notice that the both will be equal. It will be A square into R power 6. Integral 0 to pi modulus of sin 2x. Integral 0 to pi modulus of sin 2x dx. Simple, again definite integration based question. We came across 3 questions till now. I is equals to integral 0 to pi modulus of sin 2x 2x. So this is integral 0 to pi. See, modulus of sin 2x. I can use a plus b minus x property. I can replace x by 0 plus pi minus x. Modulus of sin of 2 times of 0 plus pi minus x dx. So I am getting 2 pi minus 2x. Modulus of sine of 360 minus theta will be again modulus of sin x. Both will be the same. I am getting this again as integral 0 to pi modulus of sine 2x 2x. So if both are equal, I can replace it by 2 times of integral 0 to pi by 2 modulus of sine 2x dx. So now sine 2x is an expression which is always positive in between 0 to pi by 2. So in between 0 to pi by 2, I write it as integral 0 to pi by 2 sine 2x dx. So sine 2x integral is minus cos 2x by 2 minus cos 2x by 2, limits from 0 to pi by 2. Substitute limits from 0 to pi by 2, minus cos of pi means minus of minus 1 minus of minus 1 by 2. I will get this as minus cos 2x by 2 integral 0 to pi 2 times of integral 0 to pi by 2, this integral 0 to pi by 2 into 2 is there here, into 2 into 2. So this 2 gets cancelled, I will get this value as 2. Integral value is 2. Definite integration question, again the third one. Property a plus b minus x property, and after that sine 2x I applied limits after doing the integration. Let us go for 22. 30 into 30 is 0, again a question based on binomial theorem. We came across many questions from algebra part. He is asking sigma r into 30c 30 minus r is equals to 0 to last term is 30c 29. So if he is asking 30c 29, it will be from r equal to 0 to, if I am taking r equal to 0, no problem, r equal to 0 I am getting this as 0, r equal to 1 I will get this term, and so on up to r equal to 30 I will get this part. R equal to 0 to 30 is asking this value. This is nothing but sigma r is equals to 0 to 30 r into 30c r, because 30c 30 minus r is nothing but 30c r. What is sigma r into NCR? 1 plus x whole power of an expansion is 1 plus NC1 plus x plus NC2 x square, and so on up to NCN x power of n. N into 1 plus x whole power of n minus 1 is NC1 into 1 plus 2 into NC2 into x plus 3 into NC3 into x square, and so on up to n into NCN into x power of n minus 1. Now in this expression I will substitute x as 1. N into 2 power of n minus 1 is equals to NC1 plus 2 into NC2 plus 3 into NC3, and so on up to n into NCN. So what will this value be? You just compare it with the previous one. R equal to 0, he is asking sigma r into NCR. This is 1 into NC1 plus 2 into NC2 and so on. N into 2 power of n minus 1. So what is n here? 30 into 2 power of 29. This has different answers. That is another 2 I can take it out and I can write it as 15 into 2 power of 30. But maybe he went for the obvious answer. 30 into 2 power 29, sum of 29 plus 30 will be 59. If suppose he is asking the least value of m plus n, in that case it will be 15 plus 30, 45. But in general 30 into 2 power 29 is the direct expression which we are getting. In that if he is asking the value of m plus n, it will be 30 plus 29, answer is 59. Okay. Let us go for question number 23. X cube minus 2x square plus 2x minus 1. X cube minus 2x square plus 2x minus 1 equal to 0. I have to identify the roots for it. Simple thing. He didn't mention it as these alpha, beta, gamma, the distinct roots of it. So we know 1 is a root for this. You take all three as 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1, because it's not saying anything about distinct. but that is not the actual method. The actual method will do it now. We know this can be factorized as x square into x cube minus 1 minus 2x times of x minus 1 is equals to 0. I can write it. This first one and last one I grouped, second one and third one I grouped. From this I will take out x minus 1 common. X minus 1, if you take it common, it will be x square plus x plus 1 minus 2x into x minus 1 equal to 0. So I will get it as x minus 1 into x square minus x plus 1 is equals to 0. So what are the roots for this one? 1. And what are the roots for this one? I am just replacing x by minus x here. The roots for this one were omega and omega square. So the roots for this one will be minus omega and minus omega square. But its power an even number, so the sign won't matter. 1 power of 162 plus minus omega whole power of 162 plus minus omega square whole power of 162. 162 is a multiple of 6. The sum 6, 7, 8, 9, it is a multiple of 3 and it is an even number, so it is a multiple of 6. So minus omega whole power of 6 multiple will always be 1. Minus omega square whole power of S6 multiple will always be 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1. Answer is 3. Okay. Let us go for question number 24 now. Find the area bounded by y is equals to modulus of x minus 1 minus 2 with x axis. Basically we have to draw the graph in this one. Forget about the outside modulus, I will take only the inside modulus and first I will draw the graph. Modulus of x minus 1 part only I will plot first. How will modulus of x minus 1 be? This is modulus of x minus 1. Y equal to modulus of x minus 1. This I have to shift it 2 units downwards, minus 2. This value is at x equal to 0, what will it be? 0 comma 1. If I shift it 2 units downwards, the curve will come something like this. This is 0 comma minus 1, this is 1 comma minus 2, and this is some value where it again attains 0. Now again for this he is applying modulus. So what will the final curve become? I will draw it here till this part. See, we have to identify the value for which mod of x minus 1 is equals to 2. When will mod of x minus 1 be equal to 2? At x is equals to 3 and x is equals to minus 1. X minus 1 equal to 2 and x minus 1 equal to minus 2. So modulus if I apply, the value, the graph above x axis will remain the same, whereas the graph below x axis will get inverted. That is till minus 1 it will be the same. After minus 1 it will get inverted and it will come like this. Till 3, after 3 again it will remain the same curve. This is the curve. So, it is asking bounded with x axis. This area is asking. Triangle area. So, what will this point be? If I am taking image of 1 comma minus 2, what will it be? 1 comma 2. And this point is minus 1 comma 0 and this is 3 comma 0. So, what is the area of triangle? We do not need any integration in this one. What is the area of this triangle? Half into base into height. Half into base length is 4 and height is 2. So, it will be this is 1 comma 2. So, 2 gets cancelled, we will get the answer is 4. Okay. Let us go for question number 25 now. Find the number of solutions of root 3 cos square x is equals to root 3 minus 1 into cos x plus 1. Root 3 cos square x equal to root 3, again a question based on trigonometric equations, cos x plus 1. We got questions based on ratios. This is a question based on equations now. Root 3 cos square x equal to root 3 minus 1 into cos x plus 1. A quadratic equation in cos x, if you write and simplify also it will be easy, but it is not needed. I will bring this cos x here. Root 3 cos square x minus root 3 cos x is 1 minus cos x. So, if I take out root 3 cos x common here, I will get cos x minus 1 is equals to 1 minus cos x. So, what are the two possibilities here? either 1 minus cos x will be equal to 0, or if 1 minus cos x is not equal to 0, I'll get root 3 cos x equal to minus 1, or cos x is equals to minus 1 by root 3. But can this be possible? He said x belongs to 0 to pi by 2. In 0 to pi by 2, this is not possible. Cos x is always positive. So cos x is equals to 1, how many times it will attain? In close 0 to pi by 2? 1 time. Only at x is equals to 0. Clear? Let's go for question number 26. Geometry based question. Easy one again. In the given figure, AD length, the total length he gave it as 13, DE length is 1, this small length is 1, this length is AE length, total minus 1, this will be 12, the rest we have to calculate. For this triangle AB, he mentioned BC is perpendicular to AD. So can I say AD is along altitude first of all? AD is along altitude. AD is along altitude, and he also mentioned the condition that it bisects angle BAC, is also bisector, angular bisector, is also angular bisector, is also angular bisector. So if it is an altitude as well as angular bisector, what can I conclude? Can I say this will also be a perpendicular bisector of the side? For the side BC, if AD is also the altitude and bisector, it means AB length and AC length will be equal. AB will be equal to AC. That means isosceles angle triangle. If this is isosceles, can I say the altitude from A will be all, because all incenter, centroid, circumcenter, orthocenter will be collinear. AD is also along the perpendicular bisector. If it is the perpendicular bisector of BC, can I say it will contain the center O somewhere here? It will pass through center of the circle. Perpendicular bisector of any chord passes through center of the circle. This one trick we'll understand. Now, I'll draw the diagram again. It will be easy for you. If this is my O, if this is my O, center of the circle, this total length is 12, this total length he gave it as 13, AD length, diameter length is 13. So this will be 6.5, this one will be 6.5, this length will be 5.5, and this length will be 1. Now, this length will also be 6.5, this length is also 6.5, and we know this is 90 degrees. So what will the length EC be? This length, root of 13 by 2 whole square minus 6.5 whole square minus 5.5 whole square. Check it, what will it be? Root over 13 square minus 11 square by 4. ఎంత వస్తుంది? Root of 13 minus 11, 2 into 24 by 4. I'll get the length as root 12. This length is root 12, this length will also be root 12. Now I want the area of the complete triangle ABC. Area of triangle ABC is half into base into height. What is the height? Delta, area of the triangle, is half into base. The base length is root 12 plus root 12, 2 root 12. Into height is 6.5 plus 5.5. This whole length 13 minus this part I have to do 1. So it will be 12. So 2 gets cancelled. The answer will be 12 root 12. So you are supposed to calculate the answer for it, or maybe in the instructions I think he gave to the nearest integer, so you can solve it in that way. So what is 12 root 12? 4 3s are 2 into root 3, 24 into root 3, 24 into root 3, root 3 is approximately 1.732, 24 into 1.732 you calculate, you will get approximately equal to this part, 41.568. Clear? Geometry based only. First concept I used is, if a line lies along both perpendicular altitude as well as along the angular bisector, that will also lie along perpendicular bisector. Once I understood that part, I understood that the center lies on this line and that AD is a diameter. After that, our calculation was easy. We'll go for question number 27 now. Find the difference between the value of degree and order of the differential equations corresponding to the family of curves y square equal to a times of x plus root 2. He is saying a is the parameter here. I have to eliminate a. Differentiate it. 2y into y dash is dy by dx. Derivative of this will be only a. So you have to replace a by 2y y dash. Y square is equals to 2y y dash into x plus root 2. So y, if it gets cancelled, y is equals to 2 times of y dash into x plus root 2. This root 2, I think this is supposed to be, or else simply the order is 1, degree is 1. This was supposed to be a, I think so. So y is equals to 2y times of y dash into x plus root over a is 2 times of y into y dash. Y square, sorry, y square is equals to. This I have to simplify. There shouldn't be y and y dash inside the root. I should eliminate this point. 1 y I can cancel it because y is not identically 0 for this. So the leftover part is y minus 2y dash x whole square is equals to 4 times y dash whole square into 2y y dash. 2y y dash. This is my expression. That is, this 2y y dash into x, I brought it on the left side when y gets cancelled. 2y dash x, I brought it on the left side and whole square I have done. For this now, there is no rational powers. All the powers are natural numbers 1. For this degree I have to identify. Degree is 1. Only y dash I am saying. There is no y double dash anywhere. Number of parameters is nothing but degree. Here a is only a variable. So degree is 1. What about the order? Y dash power I have to see. Here I am getting y dash whole square, but here I am getting y dash whole square into y dash. This is 4 into y dash whole cube into 2y. So the highest degree is power of y dash is 3. So the value of degree is 1, whereas the order is 3. Here I will get only y dash whole square, but still I have to see the highest power. So degree is 1, order is 3. 3 minus 1, the answer is 2. Differential equations based question. He asked areas, differential equations, integral calculus weightage is also more this time. He asked many questions based on definite integrals, direct property based on. Let us go for question number 28. A plane is passing through these 2 points. It is perpendicular to the line joining the points A and B. If I have 2 points A and B, he is saying this is perpendicular to the line joining A and B. It is passing through 2 points. So every vector on the plane is actually perpendicular to the normal. We know that part. Every vector on the plane, you join any 2 points, that line joining 2 points will be perpendicular to the normal of the plane. So now A and B, first AB normal drs I have to find out. What are the drs of AB or drs of normal? Minus 1 plus 2. So I will get 1, 29 minus 23, 6, 16 minus 18, minus 2. And a plane is passing through these 2 points. So if I am taking this as P1 and P2, 2 points on it, drs of P1, P2 I have to write. Drs of P1, P2. What will it be? 4 minus lambda, minus 2 means minus 4, 2 minus 1, 1. Now what is the condition here? Dot product of these 2 must be equal to 0 because it is perpendicular. 4 minus lambda minus 24 minus 2 is equals to 0. So lambda must be minus 20 minus 2 minus 22. But is asking a different expression. Some of you might have gone only for minus 22. Is asking lambda by 11 whole square. What is lambda by 11? Minus 2. And what is lambda by 11? I will substitute that part here. Minus 2 whole square minus 4 into minus 2, minus 4. So 4 plus 8, 12, 12 minus 4, 8. Is it clear? The idea, simple one, line joining any two points on the plane is perpendicular to the normal. Let us go for question number 29 now. Number of bacteria are increasing at a rate proportional to its number at a time t. At t equal to 0, initial bacteria he is saying it is 1000. Number of bacteria is increased by 20% after 2 hours, means 1000 is getting increased to 1200. Initially at t is equals to 0, n was 1000, we will call it as n naught, and at t is equals to 2, he is saying n is, it is increased by 20%, means it is increasing by 200, 1200 it is becoming. So, I have to find the differential equation here. What is the conditioning here? Rate proportional to its number, dn by dt is proportional to n. So, dn by n is equals to some lambda times of dt. That proportionality constant I am taking it as lambda, integrated from n naught, initial n naught to final n, and this from 0 to t. What will I get? ln of n by n naught is equals to lambda t. Now, I have to find the integration constant from the given condition. He is saying at t is equals to 2, n is 1200. So, ln of 1200 by 1000 means 1.2 is equals to lambda times of 2. So, the integration constant is ln of 1.2 by 2, ln of 1.2 by 2. We will use this integration constant in this condition. When the number of bacteria are 2000, he is saying time is k by ln 5 by 6, he is asking k by ln 2 whole square value. So, substitute n is equals to 2000, we will use this formula now. N is equals to 2000, ln of 2000 by 1000 is equals to lambda, means ln of 1.2 e power of ln of 2 is equals to lambda into, that is lambda is ln of 1.2 by 2 into t. T is k by ln of 5 by 6. 5 by 6 is nothing but 1 by 1.2. So, what will happen? This ln 1.2 and this get cancelled, I will get a minus 1. So, I am getting ln 2 is equals to minus k by 2. So, what is k by ln 2? K by ln 2 is equals to minus 2. So, k by ln 2 whole square was 4. Answer is 4. So, this is the last question we have. So, basically out of all the questions, we observed many questions from algebra part. First of all, definite integration we identified around 3 questions. Indefinite none, but area and differential equations 1 question. Extra syllabus, that equivalence class, if we consider it as a question of sets, it is 1, or else there are no questions from extra syllabus, but this is not the norm which will repeat every time, it is different cases. But overall the paper is easy, excluding some 2-3 questions. One question was that binomial theorem and maxima minima concept mixed one, 1 minus x into x per 1 by 2 and the other one, and they were like hardly excluding 2 or 3 questions, most of it are doable. So, this is the conclusion. Thank you.